stressful
Yeah.
to plan. This was very stressful to plan. All right. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to be managing the stage and then welcome everyone to the game. Oh God. All right. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm doing great. All right, awesome. So you obviously don't have chat, which is why we're doing this here today on stage. We usually do it in chat. The guest gets to chat. We were gonna do a last minute feature, for that, but Roblox was like, nope. So yeah, welcome. Glad to have you here.
Thanks for having
me. Of course. All right. So we have a bunch of questions that we're gonna ask you about, like overall Tencell, I2R, x64, and yeah, we'll be going through them. I think you got ready for them as well.
Yep, I'm ready to go.
All right. So the first question on the list is actually Tencell related, and I think it's something that a lot of people have been, talking about, wondering in what way Tencell is going to be involved. And so, how is Tencell involved in or affect the speed of development for I2R moving forward?
Yeah, so in terms of our partnership with Tencell Studios, I think for us, Team I2R is like a very small group of developers. We haven't really ever had like a full team, maybe like earlier on, but we never had like a full team, especially scripting wise. Ever since 2024, we never really had like a true scripting unit, and that's kind of forced us into positions where things get delayed and we have to wait on other people to become available. And so the goal with Tencell Studios is that they're going to help us build that consistency, right? You see a lot of quality stuff from Team I2R, and that's always like our goal, is to push out the best quality things, but obviously the timeliness of it is always very inconsistent. And so the goal with working with Tencell Studios is that they're going to help us build our visions and release them more consistently.
Awesome. Just so you know, I'm having to do this in game, like typing the answers in game and on call.
Yeah, no, sorry.
no, it's fine. No, just because like a lot of people are wondering what's taking so long, and so I'm managing two things.
I got you. Yeah. Maybe you can have someone else operate it or something.
I was wondering that, but I don't think it's 90. I think 99 might have access to the system. 99, if you're on here, can you help? All right.
I don't have any admin pumps, so I can't do anything on this side of things.
All right. Oh, all right. Wait, I'm gonna give you the panel.
I'm also writing out all the questions into a document that Potato gave me, so I can't like do anything else.
All right, then I'll have to continue doing it alone. All right, awesome. It doesn't matter. So next question being, I'm gonna go into the campaign side real quick. I'll leave Tencell on a break for a tiny bit. So the campaign-related stuff. So we learned that Mr. P is still alive. What role will he have in the future, if that's something you can talk about or share?
Okay, that's a big question.
Yeah.
So with Mr. P, I don't want to get too into it. I think I've already kind of given a lot away. But obviously, we haven't been using Mr. P for no reason, right? I think Mr. P is a character that I really like to work with, and I think he was super well developed in book 1, but I think there's so much more you can do with him considering his role in the story. So in terms of going forward, there's definitely a role that we have in mind for him with the future of Team I2R. Again, I won't get too into what that role is, but he will be present and he will have a significant part in the story going forward.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. Cool. And will we see more of, or like, I guess next up, like the next question moving forward into another campaign-related one, will we see more of the 3 Vegeteers and Mrs. P in the future?
Yeah, so with the 3 Vegeteers, to be honest, when I first came up with them, the main thing was I wanted to expand the world of Abalia and the vegetable species, and I wanted to do that through the 3 Vegeteers. But the fan response has been so massive regarding them that I feel like we have to bring them back in some way. So there are definitely plans that are being worked on to have them return, and it's relatively soon as well. So I do expect them to come back, yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Next up being a mouse key quest question and Tape 3, which is something I'm guessing a lot of people have asked you about or wonder about a lot of the times.
Yeah.
I personally don't know. How far is the mouse key quest and Tape 3 into development?
Yeah, so starting with the mouse key quest, throughout the several months it's been since the mouse key quest was confirmed, we've been through quite a bit of different concepts, right? We've had concepts greenlit over and over. As time passes, we kind of change the things we want to do, right? And so, but with Tencell Studios, a new concept was made. I'm really happy with the one that we've got. We've got it greenlit. Development officially started this week. Although it's been slow, I expect it to turn up pretty soon, but there is a plan in place for the mouse key quest, and the hope is that it will come out sometime after Piggy Intercity. As for tape number 3, it was kind of in a similar bubble as the mouse key quest, where we were kind of just waiting, right? We didn't want to just release tape 3 with nothing to go with it, so it's kind of been put on the back burner along with everything else. But now, again, with working with Tencell Studios, progress has been made on tape 3 since then, and I do expect development of tape 3 to turn up really soon, and I do expect it to be done really soon as well. And the goal is going to be to pair up the mouse key quest with tape 3. They may not necessarily release on the same day, but they're probably going to release within like the same window.
Right. Yeah, cool. Awesome. So moving on, I guess we can hop into a separate category real quick, going back to Tencell's collab. What projects can we expect you guys to collaborate on? Is it like already existing ones or ones we have not seen yet? Like something fully new?
Yeah, so in terms of the projects we want to do going forward, as I said, it is our desire to create more consistent updates for the main Piggy game. Obviously, the first thing I've spoken on is the mouse key quest and the writer page campaign. Those are our top priority. I remember back when we were having our early conversations, I made it clear to them that these are things that have been promised for quite a long time, and I want to make sure that those are the first things that we get out. So those take priority. In terms of some other things, I don't want to give away too much, just because certain things may fall through, but we are currently working on plans for things like a summer update. We do have intentions to make a Halloween update, and we do want to do a second Pigmas update. Those are the only ones I'm really comfortable with speaking on. There are some other stuff that are in the works. I know there's something else that we want to pair up with the writer page campaign and the mouse key quest, but I don't want to say it just because I don't know if it's going to happen yet. But there is something we do want to pair up with that. And then there is a collab with another game that we are going to pursue. It's been, there's been, I think, off and on conversations about it, but our goal is going to be to bring it to life. I won't say which one, but yeah, so that's basically the gist of things that I'm willing to give away right now.
Awesome. Cool. I guess moving forward, what is the current timeline of AyJFried projects? You might have said that they're around the corner, but is there a specific timeline, like a specific month or overall? Anything that you can expect moving forward?
So my thing is, I've made the mistake in the past of giving people false expectations, whether I give a guarantee date and we have to delay it, or I even give a window that unfortunately doesn't happen. So I'm not sure how comfortable I am giving away certain timelines and whatnot, but the main thing I can say is that our first update is probably going to be after Piggy Intercity. It's going to be relatively soon after Piggy Intercity, at least that's the goal. So I would hope our first update's going to be sometime in the spring. Again, don't put that one in writing just yet, but that's where our head is at, is we want to release sometime relatively soon after Piggy Intercity.
Yeah, alright, just so I can get an improvement. So I said there have been delays, meaning there is no current timeline because of disappointments, but the first AyJFried update is expected after Intercity.
I wouldn't say that. Again, the reason why I don't want to give like concrete things is because with Team AyJFried, I think our partnership with Tencell Studios, the goal is to kind of build, like I said, build the consistency that we haven't had before. And you have to kind of remove certain things that you've done in the past to be able to move forward with that. And I think one thing we've done in the past is we express the ideal window that we'd like to release in, and we don't actually fully prepare for it. So going forward, I do think I'm going to hold that a little more close to my heart. But when I'm confident enough to give a date or a month or a window, I will give that.
Awesome. All right. Cool. Next up is, can you share any hints about the planned chapter that we recently got announced about after the whole Tencell collaboration?
Yeah. So regarding the chapter, I mean, I've spoken on this a little bit briefly, but the main thing with the chapter is with a lot of the things that we've worked on, we've kind of been experimenting, and I think this is going to continue being that. It's going to be an experiment, ultimately. I think for us, we want the chapter to be like an upgrade to the Piggy gameplay, right? So we don't want to distance ourselves too far and make something linear or make something, unreplayable. But we do want to still try and keep the main Piggy PvP intact, right? So it's going to kind of be built off of that.
Awesome. One thing I did miss though, it doesn't just say chapter, it also mentions this season, or a possible season.
Yeah. So for the season, and yet again, the season's going to be experiment too. Obviously, some may remember back with season 7, Paranormal Pigmas, we decided to experiment. For the first 6 seasons, there was a quest system, and we decided we wanted to try a time system. I think the reception on that, I think there was some pros and some cons to that. I think all it told us was that people do desire a new system. Maybe we just haven't found it quite yet. So there is a new system that we have in place, with the goal being that there's going to be a lot more to do. I want there to be more than one way to progress through a season, and I think I'd also like for a season to be something that people spend several days on, as opposed to someone doing within like 6 hours the first day it releases. So the goal is going to be to try again and find a new season format. Like I said, we have one in mind, but it's going to be an experiment. We're going to see how people react and go off of that.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Okay, cool. Next question. So I think we've went over all the Tencell and campaign questions, which was super quick. So this just leaves us mostly going back to the Mask Key quest and Tape 3. How long will Tape 3 most likely be?
In terms of duration of like the video, which I assume is what you're saying, I do expect it to be in the similar range to the first 2 tapes, so probably in the 4 to 5 minute range. I will say the tape takes a different direction, so the first 2 tapes are like actual tapes, right? So it's like an actual recording. I think tape 3 is a lot more like a cutscene. You'll see what I mean, obviously, when it comes out, but it's going to take a lot more of a storytelling approach. So you're going to be viewing the world from a third-person point of view, as opposed to the first-person point of view that we've had for the first 2 tapes. But I'm really excited for it. I think modelers have done a great job with all the characters. Voice actors did a phenomenal job with their lines. I'm really excited for people to witness it. It's going to be a big one.
Awesome. All right. So quick summarization. It's gonna be how long?
4 to 5 minutes, I think. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. All right. Then I'll move on. Will we see any more like skin quests after the mouse key quests from you guys? Because you did mention a possible summer and Halloween update, which are not confirmed as you said. But is there more overall general skin quests planned?
Yeah, so I mean, in terms of plans, I think for us, we do want to go for something a little more universal going forward. So there's no doubt in my mind that there probably will be future skin quests, but our main focus aligned with the gameplay and the story. We want to tell stories that people are going to kind of get motivated to hear again, and we want to create gameplay that people are going to genuinely enjoy playing. I think with skin quests, it's definitely really fun to make on my end, and I think some people really enjoy them. But I think as well as time goes on, you can kind of see, especially with the audience, the Piggy audience, I think skin quests have just gotten to a point where there's just been so many of them, right? That, well, on the creative end, there's only so much more you can do. There's only so much, new languages you can come up with and new keyboards you can type into. And then for a player, you've done so much that I think players simply want more in terms of the gameplay and the story that a skin quest simply can't tell. So while I don't doubt that there will be more in the future, it's definitely not our top priority.
Cool. All right. Yeah, that's fair. I think everyone would still look forward for future projects for sure. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is something that many people, I think, towards AyJFried have been wondering, and overall this talked about and have been wanting to know: is Noor gonna return for the mouse key quest?
Yeah. So with Noor, as I've already confirmed, Noor will return as a villain for our mystery game that we have not yet announced. But for the mouse key quest, I think it'll focus less on Noor, and it'll focus more on Ronald. So it'll kind of explore that side of things. Obviously, there's two sides to Noor. It's Noor and it's his creator. So the mouse key quest will explore more about Ronald than it will Noor.
Cool. Alright, yeah, awesome. Alright, then let's move on to the next question, and this is actually, we're just gonna skip the mouse key quest real quick and go to the 4 question marks project. Is that expected to come out this year or next year?
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, it kind of depends how things shake up. It is still in the distant future. I think for us, with Piggy Intercity coming very soon, with Misfits and Last Stand also being games that are on the way. I think for us, there's not really a rush to create the game or the vision we have for it. So in terms of this year, next year, I can't really say right now. It's going to depend, right? I think I've said this before too, but the chapter that we're doing is going to kind of be like an experiment. We're going to see how people like the storytelling and the gameplay of the chapter, and if people really enjoy it, then I think that would be the format going forward. But yeah, in terms of time, it is still kind of in the distant future in terms of quadruple question mark. But yeah.
Awesome. All right. Will we learn the name of the 4 question marks project sooner than
you will.
Expected?
Sooner than later, yeah. There's the Untitled project that I've mentioned as well. I know we've got a lot of projects that don't have names right now, but trust me, guys, we've got a vision in mind. But yeah, so the intention is that with that unannounced project, the name will be revealed, because when the unannounced project gets announced, I think everyone will kind of see why. But the name will be revealed soon. Honestly, like, don't get too, like, excited for. I don't want to like build the expectation. I feel like we've held off the name for so long. People are gonna. It's got to be like the best name in the history of video games. Don't build your expectations too much. But I think the more important thing that will come along with the name is the position it's gonna have in the story.
Awesome. All right. Do you think we're gonna get any teasers and more information on it? Soon?
I mean, like, the tapes kind of work as teasers, right? The tapes are kind of building up to the story of that. If you're talking about like actual teasers, there was one that we put out a long time ago. I want to say 2024, and since then plans have kind of changed. So I don't want to make the same mistake where I put out like actual teasers like really early on before before it even comes out. So I think in terms of like an actual marketing campaign, you'd probably see that closer to its release. But the idea is that the tapes and all the other updates and stories we do are going to tie into it somehow. We've kind of been building up to this one big story that's going to be featured in the mystery game throughout the tapes, through Pig 64. You're going to see it in tape 3, you're going to see it in the Mouse Key Quest. Everything's building up to it. So yeah, it all kind of plays into each other. It's all kind of a teaser to it.
Alright, back to Mouse Key Quest then. This is also the next question. How difficult will it be?
Yeah, so off of the current plan I have for the Mouse Key Quest, I think it'll be a little harder than the Mrs. P Quest, which maybe isn't saying much, but when I say Mrs. P Quest, I kind of more so mean like the original Mrs. P Quest. Obviously, before everyone just kind of like guessed apple pie, there was a whole part of the quest that people were able to skip to get apple pie. I think the goal with the Mouse Key Quest is it is going to be a little tough. It's going to be a little challenging. Obviously, there's going to be more content that comes with that update, so it's not going to be like it's not going to be like the 3 Vegetaires quest, where that's like the only thing that you can do, right? But I think it is going to be a little challenging, but as well, we kind of want to lean into the fun of it. Kind of similar with Pig 64 Part 2. Obviously, there's a lot of takeaways we took from Pig 64 Part 2. We took a lot of feedback in mind. So when I say fun, I don't mean fun in the sense that it's going to be like, all this, crazy stuff going on. But I think for us, especially seeing with like the 3 Vegetaires, I think for the most part, people appreciated that quest. But I think, again, people did kind of show the average player isn't super into the quest. So I think for us, with the Mouse Key Quest, the goal is going to be to have it a little more open. It's going to be a little harder, but it's going to be a little more open to everybody because there's going to be a little more gameplay involved.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, then I think that was it for the first 3 categories. That just leaves question mark and everything else we have. Cool. Will the 4 question marks project be connected to Intercity in some way or another?
So I mean, like, to be frank with you, I'm not like super in the know on Piggy Intercity. I know more than the average person, but like I'm not a part of that development team. They're not really a part of our development team. They are separate projects that are going to tell separate stories. I'm sure that we are going to work together, have some, interconnections and little references to each other here and there. But for the most part, they're going to be 2 separate stories for everybody to enjoy with different casts of characters. So I mean, like, there's not going to be a lot of connections. I think they're just going to be 2 different projects that people will be able to follow along with and appreciate.
Alright. Then next up, this just leaves what type of gameplay will the 4 question marks project have or be like?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we've got a chapter in the works that is going to kind of experiment with the storytelling and the gameplay approaches that we might want to take. And so it's going to kind of be based off of that. We're going to see how people feel about that gameplay in that story, and we're going to take all that feedback in mind, and from there we're going to build whatever the quadruple question mark gameplay and storytelling is going to be like. So yeah, it's going to depend on that.
All right. Cool. Yeah, this leaves us at the etc. So, are there any plans for future ARG style puzzles from you guys?
Yeah, I think in terms of plans, there's nothing really planned necessarily, but that doesn't mean that that can't change. I think when it comes to like the ARG stuff, like I said, I feel like it's a very maybe more niche part of the community. I think there's part of the Piggy community that really enjoy the ARGs and the quests and the secret hunting and all that, but I don't think the general player does. So I think like there's definitely going to be, you know, maybe like with certain marketing campaigns, there's going to be stuff that we could throw in here and there. Maybe for a certain update, we want to add a secret for like the hardcore fans who want something to search for. But in general, it's not going to be like a headline part of our updates.
Cool. Yeah, awesome. Are there new game modes or additional menu reworks possible?
Yeah, there definitely is. As I've said, I mean, while we want to focus on adding to Piggy, we're definitely willing to change things too. You know, the goal with taking over the live ops and the updates isn't just to, you know, continue adding content. I mean, I think ever since Piggy ended, a lot of different developers have come in and added content to the game, and I think that's definitely showed that there's an audience for Piggy still, and there's a lot of fans that still want stuff. But I think at the same time, the game's maybe gotten a little overcrowded, where it just feels like everything's starting to get a little crowded. Everything's starting to take up a lot of space. And I think it starts to feel like I think people, I could be wrong, but I think fans want stuff to tie in a little better. They want refinements made to the game, and they don't just want the game to be kind of like a billboard for different updates and different studios. And so we kind of want to stray away from that style of things, and we do want to focus on the game as a whole, and that will include stuff like menu changes, right? If there's certain menu things that we want to change, certain quality of life changes we want to make, that's not going to be at the top of our priority list, but that is definitely going to be a priority for us. Is we want Piggy to feel like a game again. We want Piggy to feel like a fresh, fun game again that matches the year of 2026. And so there's definitely, I do expect there to be different changes we make to things like maybe like the shop UI, or, you know, maybe certain game modes as you mentioned, right? So I don't want to say anything too solidified yet, but there are definitely changes in mind that we'd like to make, and we're very open to people who have feedback and things that they'd like to see changed.
Awesome. Cool. Next question. Could we see alternate skins for older AyJFried skins in the future?
So I mean, like, I don't want to rule anything out, right? I don't want to say that there's going to be things that we'll never do, right? Because that's definitely a possibility. I think for a lot of people, you know, the exclusive skin debate, or this exclusive skin debacle, you know, pickle, whatever you want to call it, is definitely something that people are pretty torn over. And I'm in the same boat. I honestly don't know. It could go either way. But I think the important thing for us is that if we were to ever bring back exclusive skins, or to create alternate skins for exclusive skins, I think we're just going to want to do it in the best way possible that feels fulfilling to as much players as possible, right? Because I think, like, the main reason why a lot of people want the skins to return isn't necessarily because these are just skins that they really want to play as, right? As the years go on, Piggy continues to get, you know, bigger, brighter, you know, more detailed skins that kind of continue to overstep the last, right? So realistically, right, like the Polly skin, for example, I think is the most notorious for this debate. Do people really want the Polly skin because they're going to be playing as Polly all the time, or do they want the Polly skin because they just want to have it in their inventory, right? So I think that's something that we're going to have to keep in mind. So there's no really decision that's been made on that, but we have seen people on both sides. We've seen people that want them to remain exclusive. We've seen people that want them to return. I think the skins that I'd be most willing to bring back would be like, you know, like the Paranormal Pigmas skins or something, because, well, one, that was our skins, those were the skins that we made and we produced. Maybe like as well, like the Shipwreck 64 skins, but in terms of like the other like older ones, I really can't say anything about that right now. We'll have conversations with Minitoon about it, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's kind of something that we're torn on too. But if we do make a decision, the goal is going to be to make the best decision for as much people as possible.
Awesome. All right. This is, I think, also a question that's like pretty last minute, especially since it's around the corner. But yeah, can we expect an Easter update for Piggy this year from you guys?
All I'll say is that we're working on a concept. There's no promises. Do not hold us to that. Like I said, we have the Mouse Key quest and the Rider Page campaign already lined up. So we're gonna those are gonna be our priority, but we are working on a concept. I'm pretty excited with the concept, I will say. I think it's really good. But I can't make any promises, but there's one that's potentially being worked on.
Awesome. All right. Cool. And then the last question we have, will we have more content for Pig 64, or is it like completely finished? Will we never see anything possible about it again?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't rule out Pig 64 ever getting an update again. You know, something that surprised us is like we've been taking a look at the game recently, and we've been seeing it's had like 100, 200 players. That honestly kind of shocks us because we're like, we don't even really know how it has that many. But I think some people like Pig 64, but at the same time, part of me doesn't want to kind of keep doing the same thing. It's kind of like, how much more can you do with Pig 64 on either end, right? As a developer, how much more can we really add to a concept like Pig 64 that we wouldn't rather just wait to add to our mystery game? And how much as a player are you willing to continue playing Pig 64, right? I think it's fun for what it is, the fun experience for those who, you know, just want something fun to do, Pig related. Maybe you want to get the Norse skin. But in terms of like a big update, I don't see anything. I have spoken on this before. I've said that there's a chance, like there's like this mystery door in the game that was added completely accidentally, but a lot of fans speculate what it could be. There is like I have thought about it, and I'm like, I think if there were to be anything that I'd add to Pig 64, it would just be like randomly one day adding something behind that door, adding a small quest to be able to get past it. I wouldn't tell anybody. I wouldn't announce it. It would just be added randomly one day. I don't know if we'll ever do that, but I think if we ever did anything more for Pig 64, it'd be something small.
Awesome. All right, cool. That means we are done with the questions, and usually after a show, which would be in-game, which we are currently managing here and in-game for the people that didn't know, we usually invite 3 people on stage and they get to ask you a question. This time, since we're here, would you mind if we split that up into 2 here, and then we'd get 2 questions from in-game?
Yeah,
so like
that's fine.
We get 2 people up here and then 2 people in the game.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. Mimir, can you take the game side? I'll take here. Cool. Alright. I'm just gonna... I don't know how this is gonna work, so I'm just gonna randomly pick someone and from the chat and have that be the person who asks.
Okay, are we starting with the in-game ones?
We'll start with here and then we'll get the in-game ones.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, cool. Yeah, so I don't know what got picked, which I for some reason did not pick, but there you go. Yeah, you could choose chat. Just type the question and we'll get AJ. Alright, just keep in mind, we will also try to get as many VIP questions as possible, which I don't know if you were informed on that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You know, I'm here. You can ask whatever.
Alright.
I can't promise I'll give you the most clear, specific answer, but I'm here. Let's do it.
All right, AJ, could you make the firewall replayable after you're done with the updates you're working on?
Yeah. So I mean, again, regarding Pig 64, I don't know how much changes we'll make to the game. I think a big part of it, like with the firewall, right, is, as I've said with Pig 64, it is intended to be a canon game. Obviously, there's like certain exceptions to that rule, but the major parts of the game are meant to be canon, right? And so I don't want to break that canon too much by having, like the firewall and the existence of the firewall is tied into the canon of the game, right? So by featuring it there to just be replayable, I think it's maybe an option. I think maybe we'll consider, making it so once you've completed the game, you can go back and do anything, but there's not like a big rush on that. Like I said, Team I2R has our focuses elsewhere. So if it ever happens, maybe, but I don't expect a lot of changes to be made to the current state of Pig 64. I think the game is what it is right now.
Awesome. All right, cool. Yeah,